Hey guys, unlimitedleasing.com coming at you here with a new video. Today we're going to be demonstrating the new Netgear Nighthawk 5G mobile hotspot. Just got this in today, still got the tape on the side of the box here, but we ordered this up with the unlimited data hotspot service. This particular device is going to replace the old Nighthawk, this one here, the MR1100. And keep in mind, this new device, still called the Nighthawk, is referred to as the MR5000. Now the SKU on this one is going to be up here at the top right there. We show the 6982B. So it is important. They're both called the Nighthawk, but to differentiate which one is which. Now on this particular device, when it first came out, it was rumored it was going to be a $499 device. Now that is no longer the case. This device comes in one color, black, and when we order them through AT&T, through our business department, we order them just retail price. So we're just paying the $249.99 you see right there on the screen. So that is what we will be selling them to you guys for. So you can expect to pay the $249. Now a lot of people have asked us, will the unlimited data service work with the 5G? And yes, we have quite a few customers already making use of the 5G unlimited service in certain areas where 5G is available. Now keep in mind, this is a new technology. It is not available in all areas. They're really starting out in just big cities, working their way out from there. Now when we take a look at this new Nighthawk, it's packaged pretty well. There's no foam, there's no real protection, it just kind of sits in the box. Sometimes we pull these things out of here and they have a little bit of rub marks. So when we ship them to you, they will be wrapped in some type of a bubble wrap. We usually don't even ship them in the original box. Now it has the flat black front, and when we compare it to the old device, you can see they're relatively close to the same size. The new Nighthawk, the 5G, a little bit bigger, would still fit in your pocket, purse, handbag, if you have a briefcase for your laptop, whatever you might carry your stuff in, still a decent size, but it is a little bit bigger device. It's obviously packing more with the new antennas to pick up that 5G signal. Now, most people getting a hold of this 5G hotspot living in a larger city are using this for stationary home internet. They may take it with them on the go, but it just sits on their counter and they're not really taking it with them anywhere unless they travel for work. Now, also here in the box, they include the owner's manual. Let's get started. And they also have the back battery cover, which we will pop on here in a minute. Now, inside the box here, they also have the battery, which we wanted to show you guys real quick. What's interesting about this battery, when we grab a battery from the old Nighthawk, the MR1100, you'll see some of the specs here are the same. You'll see the model number is the same, and you can see that the capacity is also the same, the 5040 milliamps. Now the part number is slightly different, but it's kind of surprising that Netgear decided to use almost an identical battery, not any bigger. So you have a bigger hotspot device, more powerful, needing more juice, but yet still making use of the same size battery. Now when it comes to the charging block, the new Netgear 5G has a little bit larger charging block when compared to the MR11 charging block. Same specs, but you can see there is definitely a difference in size here when comparing these charging blocks side by side. Now, Netgear, when it comes to the charging cable, they have been pretty steady here recently about making use of the USB-C style charging port, as you can see right there. And then on the other end, we have the USB, which just plugs directly into the charging block. Now, we anticipate to continue to see that USB-C style port on the upcoming devices as more and more come out. You can see right there. Now, when we stack these devices on top, because we want to show you guys something here, you can see some of the features that Netgear has left out. No Ethernet ports. They had room there, but they must have been something internally here that they couldn't do it. We have the USBs missing, antenna ports, Ethernet port, all gone. Now, in the next model, the 5200, this particular model is not available yet to even us at the business department, but they are manufacturing them. The MR5200, you can see here, is rumored to have the USB ports back. It's going to have the Ethernet port back. It's going to have the antenna ports. So all those things that they had taken away when making this new 5G MR5000 here, we're going to get those features back hopefully in the next model, that 5200. Now, when it comes to the power button here, this power button is a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. This particular button doesn't actually move. You're just going to hold your finger down on it there, and when you hold your finger over it, the device will power on. We'll show you guys here once we get the battery and stuff put in here of how that works. So, you know, with the old device, you had the power button on the top. We didn't really ever have an issue with the power buttons going bad, but it seems like Netgear is just changing things up a little bit, putting the new power button on there. So without further ado, let's get this battery put in here. We'll get this device fired up, and we'll get this thing turned on so you guys can see a little bit more hands-on what this device looks like once powered up. Now the battery just snaps right in there, back battery cover pops right on. It's really simple, and then when we put our finger on here, we just set it on there. Don't even have to push. Wait for about 2-3 seconds, and then that's it. That's all there is to it, and the device will fire up. So we'll give it a minute here while this device goes through its full boot up process, and then we will see what we're working with here. Now, while this device is booting up, it's just important to remind you guys that our service always has been and always will be unlimited, no throttling, no data caps, no restrictions, use all you want. And you're going to find with that 5G service, you're going to need the unlimited data service. Now, once this device is booted up, the first thing we're going to notice at the top left-hand corner that this device still connects to the AT&T 4G LTE network. Now, we are located here in eastern Tennessee, the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. So we do not have 5G service right here at our office. We still make use of the 4G LTE. Now, we'll go ahead and pull this protective film cover off of here because the new hotspot, this new Nighthawk 5G, makes use of touchscreen, which we lost on the old MR1100. We didn't have touchscreen, so on this one, it's really nice to be able to have the touchscreen back. On the old device here, people got it, they were confused, people are touching the screen, trying to figure out why they can't make any changes, but the MR1100, the only button it had right there was at the top, the power button. That was the only button, but there was no touchscreen on that particular one. But the new 5G hotspot, they have brought the touchscreen back, which is nice because if you want to edit your Wi-Fi name or password right on screen, there you go. You have the options. You can do that really quick on the fly. It's really simple to edit those things with everything touchscreen. You can go through, set your Wi-Fi name to something custom, whatever you might want it to be. It's really simple to make those changes, though, right there on the screen. When we tap on the Wi-Fi button there, we can see a lot of different options where we can set it to a dual band if we want it to broadcast in just the 2.4. The touchscreen here seems like a little bit touchy, just getting used to it. It's got a different feel than something of like a smartphone screen, but you can set it to just the 5 gigahertz band only if you want. Now, when we click on here, we can see some other different options. You can see the devices that are connected. You can also click on the options, and options here is where you can select the Wi-Fi standby. So when we click on Wi-Fi standby, we typically will ship them out with it set to never. We never want our Wi-Fi to go on standby if you're using this for home internet. And when it comes to the range, we always set it at boost or long so that the Wi-Fi signal is reaching as far as possible. Now, when looking at some of the other features available here on the touchscreen, you can see it also has an option for messages. You're never going to get any messages coming through in this device, so ignore that. And then when we click on the settings here, you can see we can adjust like the brightness if you on the screen, if you want to turn it up or turn it down. Again, you can also see what the LED lights flashing mean right there as well. So it gives us some more information. We can see here right on screen if we want to check to see if there's a software update available, or if there is one, it'll tell us last time it was checked, so we can click that real quick, and it says that there currently is no update currently available. The other thing that's nice is when you go to the settings, you click on the status. It's really important because we can see our signal strength there. We can see, we're connected to the LTE network and other things like that. Now, some of you may not want or use the touchscreen. That's fine. You can still go through and pull up the web page like we show here and type in the 192.168.1.1 at the top in the web bar and just hit the enter or go button on your keyboard, and it's going to bring up this login page like you see right here. Now, the username's already filled in, admin, so just leave that the way it is. And the password is just like it's always been. All lowercase, all one word, ATT admin. So that's ATT ADMIN, and then just hit that sign in button. And when you hit the sign in button, it's going to bring us right here to our dashboard. The dashboard is where we got all of our information, the ATT LTE connected. It shows we have 5 bars of signal, shows we have 1 device connected to the hotspot, shows our carrier, signal strength, battery, and over here on the right, the most important thing is that unlimited data service. And again, later when we run some speed tests, you guys are going to see why it's so important to have the unlimited on the 5G network. Now, there are some other things you can adjust here. If we click on the settings here at the top, we can go over here and see information about the network. We can see that we're connected. We can see the technology that we're set to, like LTE. We can see how long we've been connected, the amount of data that's been transmitted, things like that. So a lot of more detailed information that you can see when logged in here versus just on the hotspot device itself. Some of the other things, when we click over here on the setup, and then we click on where it says Wi-Fi profiles, this gives us the option for the dual band. So you can click on there and set it to the 2.4 or just the dual band only, depending on what you prefer. Now, keep in mind the 5 gigahertz is Wi-Fi signal. That's not 5G for cellular. So just confirm that. The 5 gigahertz is for the wireless network. That is not for cellular. That's for your Wi-Fi. But here you can change the Wi-Fi name, set it to whatever you want. You can change the password, get creative with it, make it whatever you want. But down here at the bottom, we want to make sure, again, that the Wi-Fi is set to disabled. We never want our Wi-Fi to go to sleep. And then there we want the Wi-Fi range always to be set to long. We want the Wi-Fi signal to push as far as possible. And you have the option to display the info on the LCD screen as well. Now, when we click on where it says security here and then SIM security, you can put a PIN on the SIM so that every time you power up your hotspot, you have to enter that PIN. We recommend not doing that. You'd be surprised how many people set a PIN like that and then can't remember what they set their PIN to. So when we click on administration, we can set the admin password here. Remember where we set it to ATT admin, you can change that if you want. We can also do a factory reset. If you change something, you say, oh my gosh, how do I get back? Some advanced settings here, just basic stuff, nothing really important for anyone, but it's just going to kind of show you here where you can turn your data on and off. Data roaming, you can select the different bands, whether you want it to be LTE only or all bands. We want it set to all bands. And then you can see down here at the bottom, they still use APN for broadband. And when we click on the device, just basic setting here to be able to adjust the screen brightness, and you can also adjust the screen timeout. So we will just leave it right now, and we'll just leave it set to the 5 minutes where it's at. Click on the other, just gives some more things, help and support, some links there. Now, we are connected to the hotspot, so when we look on the Wi-Fi there, we see where it says the 1, and when we tap on devices, you can see all your devices that are connected, so that's helpful if you have 10 or 15 devices connected to this hotspot. But when we go back to the home button there, we're going to log in and run some speed tests. We're going to pull up speedtest.net, and when we pull up that website here, we get the big go button there. And you can see we are connected to the AT&T internet, the AT&T wireless. So when we hit that go button, we're going to see what type of speeds we get with this particular device on the 4G LTE network. Now remember, again, this is 4G LTE. We're right here in the office. Here in the office, we average around 40 to 50 megabits per second down. That's pretty standard for us. And we always remind customers that the speeds can vary by location. Some people may see faster speeds. Some people may see slower speeds. When you're traveling, speeds can vary just depending on how good of a signal you get to your local cell tower. So there we can see the ping is 39, download is 51, and the upload's 24. Those are really good speeds. There's not much you won't be able to accomplish online with those types of speeds, but we'll run that one more time real quick here just to see a little bit better ping. Here we got the 36, and we're running on the download speeds. You know, these speeds are great for what we do here in the office, moving some files around, transferring data. Having, 50 megabit per second down speeds is pretty good for us here. And then when we run the upload again, we will see probably going to finish out right around that 10 to 15 mark, just depending on this particular test. Now, when it comes to the 5G, we're going to see speeds that are probably going to be, close to 10 times faster than this. So we're going to see what we're working with once we get some 5G signal. Now, when it comes to the speeds, people always ask, what do these speeds really mean? Like, what does 50 down really mean? Well, here on Netflix is a screen grab from their website, a popular company like Netflix, telling you what you need to be able to do certain things. So you need at least 0.5 megabits per second to even just have required broadband. You need 1.5 to be able, is what they recommend. You need at least 3 for SD quality. You need at least 5 megabits if you want to do like a 1080p HD, and only if you're doing 4K ultra high definition do you need the 25 megabit for ultra high definition there. So most people love streaming their content in 1080p HD. That's the standard. So having 5 down is really all you need for HD. So having 50 down, like we got in that speed test, is phenomenal. Those are good speeds for streaming a movie or whatever it is you might be watching. Now, when we light up the screen here, one of the first things you're going to notice is that the hotspot still shows 0 gigabytes used. That's because the data usage being reported to the hotspot is not in real time. It actually gets its usage from our business account. So don't be surprised if it takes about 2 to 3 hours to show you how much data you've used. Now, even though we do not have 5G right here at the office, we do have some down the street. We have 5G signal. So we're going to jump in the car real quick. We're going to take a quick drive down the road. We're going to track down some 5G signal just to show you guys what the 5G looks like. But it's important to keep in mind that the 5G network is not true 5G. This is not what everybody's getting excited about. The 5G network is really just 5G evolution, which is LTE advanced. Now, if that sounds confusing to you, good. That was AT&T's intention, was really just to confuse people with their multiple layers of their 5G network. 5G is not what everyone's getting excited about. That is not what you should be concerned about with this device, but we want to run some speed tests. We're going to see what we're working with here. When we click on the status there, you can see where it says the 5G EVO. So we're going to go ahead and connect our laptop here. We're going to go ahead and pull up the speedtest.net website. We're going to run some speed tests just to show you guys what 4G LTE advanced or quote-unquote 5G speeds look like. Now, you can see right away here, we're getting much faster speeds than what we see in the office. Still not what you should see for traditional 5G because it's not real 5G. Again, this is just the 5G. We're not going to spend much time here running these speed tests, but we wanted you guys to see what you can expect when on AT&T's 5G network. We get a lot of people contact us saying, hey, we live in a market with 5G. Can we get the service? And we find out that it's not really 5G where they live. It's just 5G, which is not the same. So that's important to remember when you're looking at your coverage and trying to figure out what you're working with and what kind of signal you have at your specific location. Now, remember, if you guys want to get on board with this service, it's important to remember you can't get this directly through AT&T. You have to head over to our website, theunlimitedleasing.com. We are the only ones able to provide this service with the 5G unlimited and the 4G LTE unlimited data service too. So that's important to remember. Now, when this device fires up here, you can now see that we've used the 2.79 gigabytes of unlimited. So it did take it a little bit while for it to show up, but you can see that it is reporting now on the hotspot device. Again, a lot of people will reach out to us and say, hey, we called AT&T. They said they don't offer unlimited on a hotspot. And that's true. They do not offer unlimited data service on a hotspot. You have to get this service through us, theunlimitedleasing.com. Now, when it comes to this 4G LTE and 5G, people get confused and say, well, what do all these numbers mean? So it's really simple. If we go back to the 80s, where we had analog voice, where cell phones were first introduced, that's what 1G was. And then it came to digital voice, and that's when we call it 2G service. Now, 3G service is when we first got our mobile broadband, is when we had those flip phones, the Motorola Razors. Yeah, remember those? That was our 3G service, and it even helped when we first started, when we had the iPhones. The first introduction of the iPhone had 3G service. And then it advanced to 4G LTE. 4G LTE is what gave us the next step up. It gave us those speeds that we all know of today. And when it comes to the 5G, that's what's going to take us into 2020 and beyond. That's what's going to give us those super fast speeds where you can download a Netflix movie in a matter of seconds. There's no more really even need to stream over like a 4G LTE when you have data speeds fast enough that you can download an entire movie in just 30 seconds or less. Now here where it says the evolution of our network, this is what we were talking about when AT&T has 3 different levels or layers to their what they call their 5G. So it's very confusing. We almost feel like that was their intent, to confuse people so they don't understand really what's going on out there. But, you know, to break it down for you again with the 3 different tiers, the 5G evolution is really just LTE advanced. It is not a true 5G. There on the left, you see that. Now in the middle where it says 5G, this is going to be a nationwide 5G. This is going to be a different type of signal, different type of technology. It's going to reach a little bit farther. And then the far right, the 5G plus, that is what you really want to see to get those super fast speeds. Now, us personally, we've never experienced the 5G plus. However, we do have customers that are using our service with the unlimited in some of the large cities that have the 5G plus signal and have reported back to us with phenomenal results. Now, as I mentioned before, we've never personally experienced the 5G plus and the speeds. However, this video would not be complete unless we had some 5G plus speeds. Now, 5G plus is only available in certain cities, in certain states. Now, Dallas, Texas is one of those locations. We have a lot of customers throughout Texas that make use of our service. So we have packed our bags. We are ready to hit the road. We want you guys to follow along. You do not want to miss this one. Come on, let's go. All right, guys, we have made it here to Dallas, Texas, and we are in the Clyde Warren Park, right here in the heart of Dallas, Texas. And for those of you who don't know exactly where that's at, here on the map, we can zoom in so you can see exactly where it is we are located, where we're going to be doing this testing. Now, we did have to do some driving around to track down this 5G plus millimeter wave cellular signal that's going to give us those super fast speeds that we're hopefully expecting here. Now, up on the top of this building you see across the street here, you can see those 4G LTE panels, and mixed in with those, it's hard to see, but there are the 5G panels as well. Now, when we talk about the cellular signal, it's important to remember that the 5G signal does not travel nearly as far as the traditional 4G LTE signal. That's super important to remember. As AT&T continues to build out their network and expand the 5G coverage, they're going to need and require more of these antennas and repeaters to get the 5G signal and service where we need it. Now, when we look on the hotspot here, you can now see that it says the 5G plus, whereas before it showed the 4G LTE signal, and then even when we track down some 5GE. So the 5G plus is what's going to give us those super fast speeds. And we pull up the settings and we check it here, and we click on more and go to status, we can see that it now says the NR5G, and that's what's going to give us those super fast speeds. So without further ado, we're going to be running a speed test on the cell phone, which is connected to the 4G LTE network, side by side on the laptop connected to the MR5000. And right out the gate, wow, you can see a big difference here. Look at that. The cell phone on the left is getting about 80, 85 down on 4G LTE. And the laptop connected to the hotspot is pulling in over 440 megabits per second down. Now, on the upload speed here, one of the first things you're going to notice is that the upload speeds really aren't anything special, and that's because with the 5G technology, AT&T is still using the traditional 4G LTE network for the uploads. So when they talk about the super fast speeds, we're just right now early into this technology, but they're using the 5G for the download and the 4G LTE for the upload. So we'll run that speed test here one more time, and you can see we are connected there to the AT&T network, and we'll see what we get on the speeds here one more time. Good ping on this one, getting about 18, and the speeds climbing quickly. We are almost out of the 300s. Now we're down into the 400s. Still doing really, really well here on this speed test, rounding out with about 429 down. That is phenomenal. Remember before what we talked about with the speeds required for Netflix to be able to stream or, a movie, you needed at least 5 megabit per second down for a 1080p. Here you've got 429 down. So more than enough bandwidth to be able to do whatever you need. We'll run this speed test one more time real quick here. And this particular test looks like it's starting a little bit slower, but as we continue to run the test, you'll see how quickly the speeds can build. We got out of the 200s into the 300s, now into the 400s, and just that quick, now we're into the 500s. 518 down. This is our best test so far, and those are phenomenal speeds. It's over 10 times as fast as what we got in our office when we test there in Tennessee. So this is really exciting to be able to have speeds this fast over Wi-Fi coming through cellular. So that's really incredible. Now, one of the other websites we can test is fast.com. If we pull up over here on the web browser and we go over to fast.com, it is actually hosted by Netflix. And one of the nice things about this, we will show you here in a minute, is it'll actually show us how much data each speed test is using. And on this one here, we ran about 490 down. Again, phenomenal speeds. You could download an entire movie in just a matter of seconds on Netflix. No more streaming. And on this one here, we're hovering right around that 500 megabit per second mark. Those are really good speeds. You can have multiple TVs in your home streaming an HD quality movie at the same time all at once. Now, when we click that more button there, you can see where the latency is. That's just talking about our ping time, the milliseconds, the 15. Really good ping time on the 15 millisecond. And the test is still running the upload. But down here at the bottom, right there where you can see the mouse where I'm circling, you can see how much data we use just running this speed test alone. That's incredible. The amount of data there, it shows right there we've used. The test for the upload is still running, so we'll wait till this thing finishes out before we see. Right there, you can see the specifics. We used 860 megabytes on the download and 80 megabytes on the upload. Now, combined, that's 940 megabytes. Now, keep in mind, there's 1,024 megabytes in a gig. So that means we used almost a gig of data running this one speed test alone. 10 speed tests would be 10 gigs. So you can see here the importance and the need to have the unlimited data service. Now, when we head over to our website, the unlimitedleasing.com, we advise you guys go there, check out our service. We have our service plans. We have the frequent asked questions section. If you guys have questions, contact us, send us a message. But when we click on the service plans, you can see here we offer the 2 different types of plans. We have our blue plan, which runs on the AT&T network, and then we have our red plan, which runs on the Verizon network here. Now, we're currently still selling the MR1100 Nighthawk, the 4G LTE. That is the device you can get directly through our website. And then there on the red plan, we currently sell the 8800L. So if AT&T is not something where you have a good signal in your area, you can certainly get a hold of us and see what your options are about getting on board with the Verizon service as well. All right, guys, so we're back in the office now. We want to do a final wrap-up of this video, give you guys our final thoughts when it comes to this new Netgear Nighthawk MR5000 5G router. It's a great entry-level device. 5G technology, it's new to all of us. So we think this was a great entry-level device by Netgear. We obviously think it could have had a lot more features added to it. We think it was just a basic, just to kind of get something out there on the market so people could see what the speeds would look like, kind of get a general idea for 5G. But more devices will be coming in the future. Netgear seems to release new devices every few years, and you can definitely see, though, when we run those speed tests, the importance of that unlimited data service. So you can see here our billing cycle has reset, so the data went back to 0 now that we're back in the office, but it's still a solid device. You know, it'll be interesting to see when the next model comes out, that MR5200 we showed you, that's going to have those Ethernet port and the antenna ports so that you can, you know, hook up other things to this hotspot. It'll be really interesting to see how Netgear continues to evolve as more hotspots hit the market. Now you're asking yourself, well, how do we get on board with this 5G unlimited data service? So we were only provided a limited number of lines from AT&T with this 5G unlimited. We have just a couple hundred lines that we lease out with this, and everybody wants to get on board with it. We have people contact us every single day. Now, remember, you can't get this traditional hotspot service directly through AT&T. So what we're doing is we're providing the 5G service to our current customer base first. So if you're already on board with our service, you have first dibs at the 5G service. If you're not on board with our service, we recommend heading over to our website right there, theunlimitedleasing.com. Get on board with our current service. And, you know, it'll be a few months down the road, but when 5G becomes available in your market and we have a line become available, we can put you on that 5G line at that time. Now, it's also important to remember some of these knockoff companies like OTR Mobile, NetBuddy, these companies are not able to offer the service like we do. We're able to offer that unlimited 5G. We also have the Verizon unlimited hotspot service, and we also have the unlimited international data plans as well. So if you travel international and you need the unlimited data service, or maybe the AT&T doesn't work out for you and you need the Verizon, we have that available. And also as 5G expands, we're going to be the ones to offer that 5G service that no one else is going to be able to offer you. And those are important things to remember when making a decision of who to get on board service with. So that's it for today, guys. We hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button down below. If you want to see more videos like this in the future as new devices come out, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you know someone who could make use of this unlimited data service, please feel free to share this video with them. Most people don't even know that this service exists. All right, you guys hang in there. Until next time, thanks for watching.